Hi everyone, this is Mindy, and in today's video, we are going to be working with some mini stencils. Now, this mini stencil set comes from the Simon Says Stamp limited edition card kit with love. So I'm going to walk you through the contents of the kit. These kits are always just so jam-packed with products, and this one is no different. So right out of the gate, I'm going to show you this amazing 6x8 stamp set. This has so many items on it that you can use on your card projects. I fell in love with that little, or some say little, it's kind of a larger rose bouquet at the very top, and it's such a unique shape. So that is what I'm going to be working with today. Also in the kit, you are getting some pattern paper. Now, there are a lot of really great designs in here that I think would work in a mini journal. I may have to dig my mini journal back out. I haven't played in it for a while, but there's also things in here where you can just cut them out and use them for Valentine's. Then next we have this mini stencil, and these are pretty mini. Maybe they're like 3 by 3. I didn't measure them, but they're pretty small. You can layer them together. You can use them individually. You can see the hearts are placed differently on each stencil. That is the stencil I'm going to be working with today. You're also getting this ephemera piece, and there are just a ton of really cute elements in here that you can use as embellishments on your cards, or if you have a mini journal, you can do that as well. There's this you and me die. It's like shaped in a form of a ticket. Don't mind that key. I was playing with the stamp set earlier, so that was an image I had colored. But you're also getting some white foam tape from Simon Says Stamp. You also get this variety pack of cardstock. Now, these are in the Simon Says Stamp cardstock colors, and you're getting a sheet of each color in the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I really do love having these kind of smaller card size sheets because these go actually in my scrap bin, and I save them when I need to trim down smaller pieces for just some smaller die cuts. You're also getting some envelopes in here, so you are ready to go to mail your projects. And then we also have some, was a glue stick. Then we have the Lawn Fawn washi tape, which I think is always really great for adding to your envelopes. And then a sheet of white cardstock to get you started. We have some of the Simon Says Stamp unicorn confetti, so it's like a glitter, great for shaker cards. And then a sucker, of course, which I will be saving for later. Now that I walked you through the contents of the kit, I'm going to start working on a card project. So like I mentioned earlier, I fell in love with this beautiful image. So I have here my mini Misti and some Hammermill cardstock in there, and I'm stamping this image in the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. I did try and condition it prior, but there is one spot that I need to ink up one more time. So very thankful I have this in a Misti stamping positioner. So I'm going to stamp that down, make sure I have everything stamped out really well. I'm going to be coloring my image in the Spectrum Noir TriBlend markers. Like I've said in the past, I've really been enjoying using these, and I'll talk about them more in just a second. First, I wanted to let you know I started with coloring my leaves. I thought that would just be easier to get the leaves out of the way. Petals sometimes I kind of lose them, or I might color a leaf in the pinks that I'm going to use. So I figure by using or getting the greens out of the way, getting my leaves colored in, that's going to simplify the process of coloring in my roses. One of the things that I really love about the Simon Says Stamp card kits is that there's so many different unique items in there. And you may look at the kit sometimes and think that you might not use something or know what to do with it, or you just never had any interest in it before. But I highly suggest giving it a try because the TriBlend markers, there were two of them in a card kit that I had played with one time last year, at the end of last year. And I didn't think I was going to like them. I didn't think I was going to use them because I had Copic markers. I have Olo markers. So when I got the TriBlends, I was like, well, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll use it in my card project because it's in the kit. And I fell in love with them. I just really like it. It's nice because I have 3 colors all in one marker. I have a very limited space on my desk. So to limit the amount of markers that are sitting on my desk makes me very happy. So once I had those 2 colors from the Simon Says Stamp card kit the end of last year, I went out and bought another pack. So I had that pack. I played with it. I wanted some more colors. So I have 2 packs, 2 of the variety sets to kind of fill in the gaps, which is why I'm using 2 different pink markers. Just the color variety they have in them fills in the gaps and just makes it easier to kind of blend those colors together. So I just kind of wanted to point that out. If there's things in the kit that you're not sure you would like or use, I still highly suggest getting it, playing around. And sometimes that is what can spark creativity is by using something you wouldn't normally do. Plus, there's so much in these kits. You're really getting a lot out of them for the price that you pay. I mean, even you think about the price of a regular sized large stamp set, and then you add in all the little bits and goodies in there. There's just really a lot in these kits. Now, I know I'm only creating one card for you today to inspire you. And one of the reasons that I don't do a ton of cards in a video is because it honestly stresses me out. It just means I have a ton of stuff on my desk, and to be so cluttered while trying to work just kind of gets me really anxious, which is why I try to stick to maybe just one or two cards in a video. So now I don't have the coordinating die for this set, so I am going to fussy cut it with my scissors. And I'm leaving actually quite a bit of a white edge to it. I really liked having that thicker white edge to it than what the die would probably cut out. After that is cut out, I'm going to set it off on the side and work on my background. I will be using Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock, and I have those 4 stencils, and I picked out one where I had some edge to it to be able to place some Post-it tape. So the Post-it tape is touching my cardstock and the stencil. I just don't want to get any ink off the edge of it. So I have that placed in the top, and my thought process in this is to have a scattered background, almost like you would see on maybe a mixed media card. So I'm starting at the top using Cheeky ink from Simon Says Stamp with a blending brush, just lightly going over it. And I purposely didn't fill in every heart. I wanted it to kind of have a fade. Now, I apologize. This is a little hard to see on camera right now. It'll show up better in the pictures, but I moved my stencil. I actually picked out a different one, and I placed that down once again, kind of holding that in place with my Post-it tape, masking off that edge, and then adding that fade to the hearts. So I'm going to repeat that one more time. This one's kind of just off center just a little bit. You could see I didn't spend a lot of time on those hearts. It was just enough to get a subtle look to it. Then I'm going to take my blending brush and pick up a little bit of ink, dab that off, and just lightly go over the background. Once again, not covering it completely, just giving it kind of a wash of color to soften the background and really kind of point out that fade or draw the attention to the fade just a little bit. I'm going to add some splatters to my background. So I'm bringing out some Dylusions shimmer spray, and this is in Pink Flamingo. You want to make sure to shake these up really well beforehand because otherwise all the shimmer is sitting at the bottom. So shake those up really well. I took the topper off and added some drops to my work surface. Mix that up with a paintbrush and a couple drops of water. And then I'm just adding some gentle flicks to this background. I'm going to give that just a few minutes to dry. And while that's going on, I'm taking some of that foam tape and I'm adding it to the back of my colored image. I'm going to use my craft pick to just kind of carefully peel up the backing of that foam tape. And then I'm placing this towards the top and off the side. I wanted it to kind of overhang the edge just a little bit. Now here's a sentiment off of that With Love stamp set. And I had heat embossed it in the Gilded embossing powder, which is just a really pretty gold from Brutus Monroe. And I trimmed that out with my scissors as well. So I added a bit of foam tape behind that and added it so it's just slightly overhanging my flowers. And then my finishing touch is just taking some of these clear quartz sequins from Gina K Designs. And I always like to place them out first. Once I'm happy with the placement and kind of have that planned out, then I can add little dabs of glue and adhere those sequins down. So that's going to finish off my card project for today using that mini stencil. I really like that scattered background. I think it's kind of almost like a mixed media look. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will have all of the supplies listed down below in the video description and over on my blog as well. Thanks so much for stopping by.